So we all love a mixie and a Dixie. You know, that's like lots of different things combined because it gives us character. Not only us as people, but the things that we're able to touch and create. And that is why I love these combos. It's so different when you can put different plants together and start playing with textures, feeling what you want. And it's so much better than one lonely plant in a basket or a pot for the rest of its life. You know, like nothing is meant to be on its own. So these combos work beautifully. Come along with me and I'm going to show you just how to do this. And instead of using those plants, we're going to show you a beautiful array of different plants. Say you didn't have a great outdoor area with loads of sun that succulents need. What if you want to put it in your bathroom, on your patio table, in the kitchen, anywhere, in fact, or next to your bedside table so you can say goodnight to the plants. Let's show you a great combination that you can use. I'm using a basket which has already got a lining inside. Now this is very important, guys. Please, when you are buying your basket, make sure that it's got a lining. If it doesn't have a lining, you need to just take some ordinary plastic and you need to line it, make a few holes in it, because if you don't do that, when you put the soil in here, it comes tumbling out and it's a real mess. And that you only realize once you've planted up the basket. So, you know, it's like, oh no, I can't do this again. So, first up is the basket. You'll notice that I've put it in a little pot because it doesn't sit very evenly here. And when you're planting up, things are going to tipple over. So what we do is I just put a little terracotta pot like this, pop it in there, so now it's nice and stable. See, nothing's going to fall over. Make sure that the chain is out the way. And your next preparation step is to take a pair of secateurs or anything that can make some holes, and you make a few little holes in the base of the plastic. And it sounds stupid that you've got something that's stopping the soil and now making holes in it. But remember, everything needs drainage, folks. If we have to just continue watering and watering and watering this, it's going to be like a well. It's just going to build up, and then the roots are not going to get enough air, and they are going to rot. All right, guys, so let's talk about the plants. Remember, if you're going to be buying plants for an indoor area, generally look around where they're all kept in a garden center, because then you know that they all like growing in similar conditions. But as a rule of thumb, if you are using plants for a basket or a pot that you want indoors as a combination, if you're buying them from the indoor section, you're kind of going to be okay. Does that make sense? Use practical common sense because it generally stands you in good stead for the long run. Okay, guys, so remember earlier what we did was we put the block of palm peat inside the water. Look what's happened. Look how it's grown. And that is the beautiful part about this stuff, is that one little block is going to give you 5 liters of stuff. And all we do is, look here, you just like break it, fold it open. I mean, I'm not even forcing this. And all it does is it turns into this amazing, beautiful, light, friable product that is great for containers, holds moisture. And I mean, this is wicked stuff. You sow seeds in these, they germinate amazingly well. It's good to add into your potting soil when we're pimping our potting soil, because that's what we got to do, because if your soil ain't right, you stop there. So in my trug here, I have got just some plain potting soil. What I'm going to add is a handful of organic pellets, because that makes sure that all the good stuff is inside there when these plants start growing. And I'm putting in some humic granules. Now these humic granules, what they do, folks, is basically it's a soil conditioner. This makes sure that the good hohos are talking to each other, that the soil is going to work properly, release the nutrients, feed the soil, which in turn, you got it, feeds the plants. Once you've done that, I'm then going to add in 1 or 2 handfuls of my coconut peat or palm peat. And all this is going to do is help with the moisture retention. Okay, so we got that in there, and then give it a good mix. How do you know when you're ready? Well, that's when you can't see the individual elements that I put in here to make it up. So guys, one tip, please, when you are adding your mixture in here, please don't fill it all the way to the top. You know, don't go mad and get all that excited. I know you're excited, but not that excited. Only fill up your basket about 1/4 of the way. Because remember, we're putting all those plants in here. So there it is, firm it down with your hand, and then we're good to go. Let's start with the first plant. So, in the middle, I'm going to be using this gorgeous anthurium. So when it comes to your choice of plant material and how you're going to be planting it, remember, simple rule. You want something with height, something in the middle, and then something nice and low. Those are the three things. So remember, we're working with different heights. So in the center, I'm putting this lovely anthurium. Come along with me. I'm going to show you here so you don't make a huge mess. Take the pot, squeeze, 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 baby. Turn it over, and look how easy it is to pop off the plant. Now look at this, guys. This is a sign of a healthy plant. Do you see these beautiful white roots? These are young feeder roots, good growth. When the roots become brown, then you know that it's old, it's established, it's really started forming that other outer layer that doesn't necessarily absorb all the nutrients. So this stuff here, then you know you're onto something amazing. So what I'm going to do is just tease it a bit. And we do that so that the plant knows that it can now start getting out and going into this beautifully prepared potting soil that we've got. So in it goes. Come with me. There we go. Inside as our center plant, looking gorgeous. Okay, next up, I want to use the bromeliad because what I want to show you is the most amazing transformation. This plant looks gorgeous all on its own, but we take this bromeliad family, give it a squeeze, out comes the beauty. And then I'm gonna take this baby, watch what happens, watch the transformation. In, and now, look at that. I mean, doesn't that talk to you? So pop him in there, and then take your little trowel and just fill in with a bit of soil. Okay, there we go, just to give him a bit of support. Okay, next up, I wanna work with the beautiful ferns. Remember, we've got broad leaves here. We're working all with broad leaves, strappy leaves. Now we're going with something fine and delicate. And once again, look what the gray does, look what the foliage does. So let's take this baby out, and in she goes. Tease the roots a bit and watch what happens. And I love this transformation. This is where gardening kind of can become a bit arty, but like I said, there are no rules, guys. There are no rules. You decide. And look at that texture. Look at those combinations of textures. And we're taking this little faithful kalanchoe, tough as nails, you really can't kill it. And in it goes. Tease the roots a little bit. But then we do this. And pop them in here. Go around. And look what happens. Doesn't that just come alive? Man, I'm loving it. So looking gorgeous, but you'll notice there's a big hole at the back here. Now, if this was going in a corner, well, then that's fine. Nobody's going to look in there. But if it's going to go in the center of a dining room table, somewhere where you can get walked around, you can't leave that big hole over there. That don't look so cool. So what we're going to do is, I've got my last beautiful fern that's going to go into this little hole over here. Same as usual. And there we go. Tease it a bit. Pop this beautiful back. Oh, I love it. This is what I love the most. That is lovely. Look at those textures. So we're playing on the broad, the fine leaf here. All we do now is take our little trowel here and pop in soil into the little gaps, because we've got to make sure that we have filled those. Take the back end of your trowel, you know the drill already, and firm the soil in. And last up, guys, just a little bit of beautiful sphagnum moss, which I put in the gaps, because as these plants grow, they're going to fill up these gaps and really settle themselves in, own the space. But in the meantime, we've put the sphagnum moss here because instead of looking into soil, it's better to look into something green and gorgeous. Plus, the other thing is that what it does is that it helps to hold the moisture. So it acts as a mulch. Yes, you know the word. And there we have it, guys. I mean, don't you want to take it home? Well, you're going to have to make your own, because this one's going in my home.